And welcome to our weekly Icarus patch notes. So, we're in week 177. The new item this week is the Culinex backpack. So we're getting the new Culinex backpack for extra food buffs. Now the Culinex backpack provides longer, stronger food buffs for any food crafted when equipped with it for all your teammates. Keep in mind you have to keep the backpack equipped until the food crafting is done, from what I've heard. Anyway, we're currently in the middle of a short week with the Easter holidays, but we still wanted to keep things moving. So we are happy to bring you a patch this week. While it's a lighter update than usual, it still includes some useful fixes and improvements. Now this week we're introducing the Culinex backpack in the workshop. This backpack will help with both the creation and consumption of food on Icarus. We also provide an update on the solo play feature we mentioned last week. It's currently accessible on the experimental branch for anyone who wants a preview, talking about the pausing of the game. Again, not for co-op, also not when you're playing on a dedicated server. Only when playing solo in a peer-to-peer session, so when hosting locally. This week a couple of notable improvements though. We fixed an issue which prevented fish from being killable with projectiles, thrown weapons, arrows, bolts, firearm ammo. I've indeed heard about this one, or read about this one on Discord. Haven't noticed it myself, but then again I really don't shoot fish with bow and arrow, let alone with firearms. Fixed the pain in the bars achievement, as it wasn't always being granted correctly. It's good news for the people who are hunting the achievements. They can now reliably get the pain in the bars achievement again. And fixing an issue where custom crafted food would not scale its stats in the tooltip correctly. I assume it has to do with the Culinex backpack where, like, I don't know, food buffs last longer, which wasn't reflected in the tooltip, things like that. This week, the Culinex backpack. Now the Culinex backpack, or the chef's backpack, is purchasable from the workshop and can be equipped for users on the planet. It provides a range of benefits focused on food creation, buff enhancement and survival efficiency. While the backpack is worn, any food crafted by the player will have an extended duration and increased effect strength. Any player can consume these improved food items to receive the enhanced benefits. So buffs are on the food, not on the backpack. So only the cook or the one preparing the food needs to wear this backpack. The buff is on the food, and players who don't wear the backpack will still benefit from the buffs. It does mean if you play solo, you equip the backpack, you prepare a ton of food, chuck it in your deep freezers. Now you have buffed food in your deep freeze. And then once you're done cooking, you can equip your normal backpack again and you will still have your buffed food. Now, additionally, any active food buffs on the wearer of the backpack are further amplified in both duration and effectiveness. This makes the backpack particularly valuable for extended missions or high intensity scenarios where sustained buffs are critical. Again, for solo players, for extended missions, I'm not sure you wanna go with this Culinex backpack though. It depends on what other backpack you normally would use and why that one specifically. In my case, I usually go with the Larkville Martinez tactical backpack for my 6 extra inventory slots. And I rather have my 6 inventory slots, I reckon, than this Culinex backpack for a bit longer food buffs. Especially like for example the cake. Currently the food buffs last like 2 or 3 minutes shorter than the expiration of the cake. Now if I would wear this backpack and the buff gets extended by say 5 minutes, I usually eat when my current buff expires. So if the buff lasts 5 minutes longer, it does mean cake will spoil before I need to renew my food buff. So I'm most likely going to be wasting cakes because they go off before I have to refresh the buff. So for me, like I said, it might be nice for initially cooking the food, but not for when I'm on a mission. Also, I have to have a look at the extended duration, how much longer. Increased effect strength is handy, definitely. Uh, Extended duration already explains why it might not be so handy. My current food buffs have all the same length, so I renew my food buffs all at the same time. I could go for my stringy jerky, for example, for extended duration and increased effect strength, but that would then mean uh, like discrepancy in food buff lengths. So I'm still gonna try it out though, don't get me wrong, but not sure I'm gonna actually actively start using this one. Now the backpack also reduces the rate of food and water consumption for the wearer, decreasing the frequency at which sustenance is required. This makes it a strong utility item for long excursions or resource scarce environments. And here I'm actually thinking null sector on Prometheus. Um, Reduce the rate of food and water consumption. Water consumption in the volcanic part and the icelands for the for the food consumption. This actually might be very handy. Now, especially if you go here with pickled food, means it doesn't spoil. This might actually be a decent backpack to use in the null sector. Again, I'll have to trade out the 6 extra inventory slots, but yeah, might be viable there. But it will be situational for me. Next week, multiplayer NPC hitbox fix. This is something Carl's going to be very happy about. We're currently trialing an improved aimed at enhancing the currently trying an improved something aimed at enhancing the experience for players connecting to dedicated servers or friend-hosted games. This update ensures that creature animations are fully played on clients all the time, regardless of the distance from the host. So we will no longer be suffering from the uh, how shall we put it, sync issues between server and client. Where if all animal animations are being done on the server and then sent to the client, animals might no longer be in that spot where the client is aiming. Uh, we have seen that Carl suffers from this quite a bit. So he's going to be very happy with this. So after a thorough investigation, we discovered that early optimizations made during Icarus' development led to desynchronization issues on the client side, specifically with NPC animations and hitboxes not always aligning correctly. Now, to resolve this, we have updated the system so that NPCs now check the distance from any active player and not just the host. This allows them to correctly play their full animation sets and ensures hitboxes are accurately positioned on all clients. Internal testing and feedback from players on the experimental branch have been extremely positive so far. with a notable improvement, especially on dedicated servers. A big thank you to our veterans in Discord for helping us identify and resolve the issue. The fix is available now on the experimental branch alongside the other changes listed below. And yes, I've seen the reports about this on Discord, and they are very positive indeed. Let's see what this one is actually showing us. Crit area for tusks, ice armor. Ah, this must be the new ice mammoth. Rime tusk? No, not rime tusk. Is this exotics infused mammoth? Could be. Anything interesting here? Not really anything interested. Furthermore on the image. Yeah. Oh, exotics infused creature is 0, so it's not an exotics infused. Then I don't know which one it is. Anyway, next week, deep ore duplication fix. We've resolved an issue where deep ore veins were being duplicated each time a prospect was loaded. A while ago they fixed this for the supercooled ice on Prometheus. They tended to be duplicated as well, which bloated the prospect files a lot, causing a lot of lag as well on Prometheus. This vein duplication could cause veins to appear as if they had changed resources and led to significantly bloated save file sizes and thus performance degradation. Because they had to load in a lot of deep veins in the same location and like keeping track of those deep veins. Is there a drill on? Yes, no, all that kind of stuff. Now, while earlier fixes made this more stable, we recently discovered a new issue with deep ore veins on the Prometheus map, introduced as part of the null sector update. Some objects were incorrectly configured during world generation, leading to duplication. We've now addressed the root cause of this and added checks to prevent it from happening again. Good. First, turn off the tap before you start cleaning up the water. Now, additionally, any duplicated veins will now be automatically cleaned from the player save files upon loading of the prospect, but it will keep any attached drills preserved. This fix is now also available in the experimental branch alongside the other changes listed below. Other changes like next week's solo pause. Now, as mentioned in last week's update, we will be introducing a long requested feature next week, the ability to pause the game during solo play. This functionality is now available for testing on the experimental branch. The pause feature, however, is limited to single player sessions only. Does not function in multiplayer, does not function on dedicated servers. And this ensures no disruption to connected players in shared environments. We do encourage players to jump onto the experimental branch and provide feedback. If you encounter any issues or unexpected behavior, please let us know. There is this very nice channel in a Discord where you can report bugs. And this channel is actively being looked at, I can assure you. Now, your support makes this update possible, and as usual it's mentioning the patch bundle, including the creature comforts pack, more saddles, food troughs, water troughs. So including the racing saddle, I tend to use 5% extra speed. There's also an armored saddle with 5% extra melee damage resistance. There's the pet companions pack with more variants of the cats and dogs, and also actual horses. And the zebra rescue mission on the Olympus map, which is the only way for you to actually gain zebras as a mount, only during this mission. But you can rescue up to 5 zebras, which you can then send up to space and call down in another prospect. Zebras do have, to an extent, heat resistance, so they don't overheat as quickly in volcanic and or desert biomes. Or you go for the completed set, which is dynamic set, which is basically like every DLC you don't have yet will be added, including the outposts. Nice way to safely check out the game. Resource respawning, so you can use it for big building projects, etc, etc. Basically Icarus Light. But it also does include the New Frontiers expansion, Prometheus, the Styx expansion, Styx, so everything. So if you wanna support the team, hop over there and get yourself some DLCs. New content this week, basically the new backpack. Couple of fixes, fixing issue where the base food stomach slots plus stats was being incorrectly scaled in the tooltip, making it seem like foods were consuming multiple slots. In cases where food was cooked by a player with the cooking food modifier effectiveness plus percentage stat. So basically having to do with the new buffed meals from the backpack. And also fixed not being able to shoot fish with projectile weapons. Future content, again quite short one. The week after Easter, so short week, so short patch notes as well. Potential fix for clients not rotating to correct the orientation when teleporting into an instance level, so into the world boss arena. This has been mentioned for several weeks in a row already. Okay. Let's hope they finally fix it. Quarite Liberation mission, part of the Great Hunts. Fix an issue where the cave worms would spawn inside an object if there was too many worms around it and couldn't find a better spot to spawn. Yeah, if the cave worm spawns inside a rock, you can't shoot it, you can't kill it. So I'm glad they fixed this. Basically fixing the unkillable cave worm spawns. Let's see what else is interesting. Added deployment fireplace gas and deploy fireplace electric with animations and destructibles. Gas-powered fireplaces and electric-powered fireplaces. So you no longer need to, especially with the electric one, you no longer need to add fuel like wood, coal, sticks, fiber, fuel rigs, etc. It's gonna be nice. Gonna give us some extra options to use as the campfire requirement for sleeping. Improved pre-built base building cleanup code. Well, we have seen multiple times when you abandon an operation that the structures stay behind and this will get duplicated. Hopefully they will finally fix this issue because it's getting darn annoying. Because if the pre-built structures aren't cleaned up proper, and we have seen this on our last solo Prometheus open world, the radio transmitter device which we had to power wasn't cleaned up properly, so upon abandoning and restarting the operation, it's duplicated the item and you couldn't properly connect power to it, etc, etc. And we had to basically restore the prospect from a backup file. And I was very lucky I still had one from before I initially started the operation. Otherwise, this issue would have deadlocked that operation. And since it's a storyline operation, it would have prevented me from completing the storyline quests on this open world. So yeah, it's a very annoying and potentially game-breaking bug, or at least progress-breaking bug. So I hope they finally fix this. Adding pause to the music bus as well as the others has to do, I reckon, with the pause from solo players. Enabling mutually exclusive talent connectors on the Ice Mammoth 3. Last week they they were talking about like there are going to be mutually exclusive items to choose from, or blueprints to choose from, or paths to choose from. And this was going wrong, so they had a temporary fix in place. Now they seem to have fixed this. Good. Double the scanning range of the recovery beacon tracker, as there are cases where players could not find recovery beacons. This is relevant for the Ice Mammoth mission 01. O as in the letter, not as in the number 0. For another operation, taking the organic analyzer as a quest item. For the RG, I'm not sure which boss this is though. Rock Golem, I think. Yeah, Rock Golem. A 1 quest where the organic analyzer was not being saved as a relevant actor. More Ice Mammoth mission issues fixed where the base would duplicate every time the prospect was reloaded. Whoa, that's annoying. So not even abandon and restart, but no, upon prospect reload. Ooh, I'm glad they fixed that. Another issue in that mission where the visit and mammoth spawners were never being spawned. Yeah, there's gonna be an anticlimax, like, hey, you now have to kill some mammoths and visits, and then they never spawn in. Especially annoying if this would be, I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud here, if this would be like quest requirements, kill X of these and Y of those, and they never spawn in. Some spelling mistakes on the research notes fixed, good. Fix an issue on the Ice Mammoth B quest where a new search area would spawn every load or reload incorrectly. Yeah, again, potentially mission breaking. Glad I fixed it. Added code so that when pre-built bases are cleaned up, they now remove their building pieces as well. Pre-built base cleanup, so I reckon upon abandoning of the prospect. Now remove the building pieces as well, so properly clean up. Good. More issues with the search area duplication upon prospect loads been fixed. And fixed the issue where the base in Ice Mammoth D would not call cleanup on an abandoned mission. Oh yeah, this is an example I was talking about. Abandon the mission and it does not clean up the buildings, etc. from that mission. Very annoying and potentially mission breaking. So I'm glad they fixed that. And those were the patch notes. What, 24 minutes? Yeah, very short patch notes. So I'm gonna take a 10 minutes break. I'm gonna go for a quick smoke. And then I will be back in a new stream with some gameplay. Since Echo is not in, I'm gonna do gameplay in my solo open world. I'll get the Culinex backpack and I'll craft some of the foods there, and then we'll see what it's gonna do for the food bus. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching me go through the patch notes. Do it every week, usually together with Echo, but she didn't show up today, so next week she hopefully be back. Carl might be back as well next week, which would be nice. But yeah, like I said, I hope you enjoyed. Uh, Thanks for being here, appreciate it. And I hope I will see you folks around in 10-ish minutes.